Hey everybody, it's Erin Reed and we are back doing some super simple napkin holders, napkin ring. Basic supplies you need is some sort of trim. I picked brown because to me that kind of screams a little bit of Thanksgiving. Plus it could be used for other seasons as well, but I'm really using these as more of Thanksgiving napkin ring holders, and then I'm personalizing them for my kids, and I'm just going to do the 3 so you guys can see. But you could do it for anybody's first letter. One package could do a family of up to 26, even more, because there's multiple A's and multiple E's. Now, if you've got a family of all A's, I can't help you. That would be my cousins. Every single kid, there's 5 kids, they're all A's. You'd have to get a couple packages of letters for that. Or you get creative on how to make an A out of a different letter, but that's beside the point. First step you're going to do is you're going to roll your trim, whatever trim you want to do. Like I said, I picked out this burlappy one. And you want to roll it so that way it's big enough that you can actually fit a napkin through there. Now, you could do fancy napkins. I'm just going to cut this. You could do fancy napkins like we're going to use. They're what I call super fancy, meaning that they're a cloth napkin. You actually have to wash them in the washing machine. But you could do paper napkins as well. They would work just fine because you just roll them and then slide them through the hole that we're going to create. So at this point, what we're going to do is go ahead and take we have just fabric glue. This is just plain old fabric glue. And I'm going to roll it into itself to make the circle. That's it. So when you're making your circle, just make it big enough for whatever napkin you're probably going to use. If you're going to use paper napkins only, you might want to make your ring a little smaller because the paper napkin, it would work. You're just going to have to roll it and make it not tight and make it looser. That's it. So this is what I would call probably like a generic napkin size. And then this is going to be our back. So I'm just going to let that kind of sit off to the side. I then have our embroidered letters, and these came from Joy, and you can pick them up at a lot of the big box stores. So like Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, stuff like that. So just go take a look. This particular one is in the gold, and it's got a black kind of an embroidery thing. And I love the look of the gold on the brown and the gold on the burlap. I think it just looks so pretty, doesn't it? And it reminds me again of Thanksgiving. And these are the colors I think of for Thanksgiving. So that's what I'm going for. So I popped out, and if you notice, I already did one, my kids' names. So I have Morgan, Catherine, and then there is Brandon. And what I have right here, these are just little circular rounds. These actually came from Canvas Core. They're little burlap minis in circles. They're already stitched. They're doubly lined and they're stitched as circles. And I just thought they were kind of a fun small shape and they were perfect. If you don't have those though, you can easily get burlap and cut it in a circle and then just stitch it or just glue 2 pieces together so they don't fray on you. Super simple to make yourself. All right, next step, I'm going to make a second circle because we're going to make 3 of these total. Make sure. All right, next step I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off just 2 little sections. 1, 2, and the reason for this, and I still have some trim left, is because I felt the letter sitting on here, it was just too much of a circle and not enough of something else. So we're going to add a little bit of our little burlap trim, and I'm just going to peel off a tiny bit just to kind of make it look like it's a hash, almost like a hashtag, but it's just kind of a square shape. And then that is going to get glued on to here. See, it just creates a little bit of another layer. If you want to make it bigger, like this M is pretty big, I might switch it. I've got enough burlap. If I cut too small, I can easily fix it. So it's just going to go there. There, I like that better. And then I can use, and this stuff is just trash. And this is a burlap color. It's just in, like I said, a brown, which looks really pretty to me. It just reminds me of Thanksgiving. And then like that, super simple. Now, how do I get the letters onto the burlap? Oh, super simple, iron, because these are iron-on letters. Now, I just grabbed a piece of wax paper. This is just plain, it actually came from one of my kids' craft kits. It was for one of those melty beads where you put the beads in a certain shape and then you put the plastic over top or this over top and then you heat it. So I just happened to save one. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it. Actually, I don't even have to fold it. I'm going to place this over top and I have my trusty little iron. Super simple. What I have this set to, because it says to set it to cotton, which for me is a number 4, which is about 350 degrees. And then you're just going to rest your iron straight on here. At that temperature, just hold it for about 25 seconds. So I'm going to call that about 10. Really hard stuff. I'm going to call that good. Lift it up. And then I don't want to touch this because it's a little bit hot. I'm just going to pop that off. And then to make sure this is fully set on there, I'm going to flip this over. So I'm flipping it over, putting my wax paper back down, and then I'm going to heat set this for about another 25 seconds. Same temperature, same thing, nothing different. I actually could have done both letters at the same time because they are so small. I just wasn't thinking. I could have easily done them both because I could have layered them. And I'm going to call that done. And then use my scissors, just kind of pop. Gotta let it dry for, or not dry, gotta let it kind of cool off for about a minute or so. So in the meantime, what I meant by you could do both letters at the same time is I easily could have layered them like this, and then I could have fit my iron. Didn't think. So while that one's cooling, I'm gonna go ahead and do this guy. Dry, my M is still cooling, super simple. I then take this, layer this in the middle, take my glue, stick it down. I mean, we can't get any harder than this. If you want to stitch that, but I am not going to go. These are supposed to be fast and easy. And technically, if you do the ironing part yourself, your kids can come and do the gluing parts and make the rings and glue to the circles and glue these on, and makes it super simple. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can either leave this as a back, or you can glue this section to here, and then you have a nice clean ring. I like that look, so then it looks nice and clean. If you have any little wispies like this, just cut them off. Just gonna trim it. That's what I call the little loose pieces. Take a little bit of your glue right here, and then here's the thing. You wanna make sure that your letter is facing the correct direction. So when you place your thing on here, face it to you, and then glue down. Super simple, just like that. And that's it, that's as hard as it gets. Super simple. They are placeholders. They are also napkin rings. It makes your table look kind of fun and festive. It's really easy. It's super inexpensive. It's a great way to use up some of these letters that you get when you get your iron-on letters. And everybody, depending on how many people you have in your family, you can even change up so everybody's got different colors. You can have fun with that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this last one. They got a little bit more drying to do, but this is what's pretty cool. If I want to store these, guess what? They store super flat. And then when you come to sometime next year, when you put the napkin inside, they'll pop back out to a ring shape. So they don't take a whole lot of space in terms of storage, which is really, really, really nice. I love that concept. And if you ever have any more people coming, just make sure you keep an extra supply or change up the colors. They don't all have to be identical. You could do some in brown, you could do some in orange, you could do some in green. You could have just play with the colors of autumn. So red, green, brown, orange. You could stick to just 100% burlap and not worry about doing another color. And finding burlap is very, very simple. So that's kind of fun too. All right, to put your napkin rings in your napkins, really simple. Fold your napkins up into a nice kind of a shape that looks like a cylinder. And then you just worm it in. Very, very simple. Slide it down. Your glue should be holding, no problem. And then you just slide it in. Very fun. And it's the whole point of the napkin ring is it's supposed to kind of hold your napkins nice and tight. And it's as simple as that. Can't get any harder or more complicated. Supplies are listed below for what I've used in my products. Please go check them out. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.